Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel Vedic Astro Amit. Today we'll talk about the transit of Mercury through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. You see, planets keep moving through the zodiac signs and they stay in a sign for a while, but then within that sign, they go through different nakshatras. So it's important to see the deeper meaning and the finer energies and the impact and the effect and the results a planet will give. That depends on the nakshatra they are in. Of course, it depends on the sign they're in, but if you want to look at the finer meaning, the deeper meaning of the transit, you have to look at the nakshatra that the planet is going through. So Mercury stays in a nakshatra for about 10 days or, give and take. And so Mercury will be in Purva Ashadha nakshatra from January 20th through January 29th. So these 9-10 days, Mercury is going to be in Purva Ashadha nakshatra. So we'll look at that one by one, each of the 12 signs. But first, the intro section is very important. So we'll talk about the general meaning and impact of this transit. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I have recently changed my handle and my website. The new one is vedicastroamit.com. And the YouTube, the Instagram, all the channels have this new handle now, the Facebook as well. So let's talk about Mercury in Purva Ashadha. First of all, what Purva Ashadha nakshatra represent? The symbol of Purva Ashadha is the tusk of an elephant. So it's got the connection with Ganesha's broken tooth in mythology. So he broke one of his his tooth, and then started writing Mahabharata with that. And he wrote Mahabharata non-stop in one go. And so this nakshatra is very much connected with writing. And especially if you put Mercury in Purva Ashadha, that's all sorts of communication. So excellent nakshatra for communication, for say, if you want to submit some writing project or an article, or if you're an author, you want to submit for something for publication, a new article or a blog or a post or anything connected with writing, especially if you use your hands, like handwriting, but all sorts of communication with Mercury in there. So that's the biggest thing, the energy of this nakshatra. The good remedy or tip is to start writing if you don't write already, a journal or something, anything to do with writing, be it professionally or personally. It's an excellent window of another 8 days or so. The second is this nakshatra, the ruling planet. Each nakshatra has a ruling planet, and the ruling planet for Purva Ashadha is Venus. So naturally, this is connected with any artistic activities and creative projects. So things related with beauty and arts and creativity and harmonious nature. So all of that is a theme for this nakshatra. And the deity for Purva Ashadha is Appa. Appa is the water deity, and see, Appa, water is associated with cleansing. So this nakshatra is very much about cleansing and purification. Okay, so when we look at the charts and we see different planets in different nakshatras, that gives you the deeper energy. So, in fact, Hitler has prominent planets in Purva Ashadha, and he thought that he was doing cleansing, right? So at a very extreme level. So that could be the energy. So the caution is, don't do it to an extreme, but it's good to do any kind of purification or cleansing. You're just cleaning out, literally and figuratively. So this nakshatra is good for that kind of activities. The nature of this nakshatra, it's a ugra nakshatra, fierce. So it's got this, fierce nature. So it's not like a Saumya or very gentle or loving or nourishing kind of nakshatra. It's a very fierce kind of nakshatra. It wants to get things done, just wants to accomplish things. And it's a Chara nakshatra, which means a movable. So it means business. It wants motion, action, and wants to do things, not just sit around. Okay, and Purva Ashadha, the literal meaning of the nakshatra is early victory. So if you combine all of this, it'll give you early victory in anything you do. So you'll get like early, you'll gain success early in your endeavors. So it's good for any actions that need determination, any activities that require leadership skills, determination, and you want to win the battle basically with a lot of action and taking care of things. But also be cautious that because it's a Ugra nakshatra, because it's a movable Chara nakshatra, there may be a lot of impatience, like you want to get things done right now. And also very stubborn nakshatra. It just wants victory and could be at any cost, but really good for writing projects, for cleansing and purification. Again, the caution is not to go to extremes. And so that's the overall energy. And if we put Mercury in Purvashada, then, as I mentioned, first of all, the biggest theme for these next 8 days is communication, any form of communication. Okay. Business activities, if you want success in your business endeavors, this is a good time. Diplomacy and marketing and reaching out to people and taking care of your nervous system and things like that. So we'll look at all the 12 signs and see the specific impact, but the general themes that I mentioned will apply to all of the 12 signs. So we'll look at all the 12 signs, both could be your rising sign or your moon sign. So it could be your Lagna or Rashi. So let me share my screen. Okay. So we'll start with the Aries Rashi and Aries Lagna. So the sign of Aries. So we're talking about the Mercury transit of Mercury in Purvashada. Make sure you listen to the intro section. It's very, very important. It talks about all the qualities and the deeper meaning of Purvashada. Okay. And then also there are some signs that are connected with each other. So I would highly recommend Aries and Cancer and Libra and Capricorn. So these are connected. So if you're Aries sign, if you're Cancer sign, if you're Libra sign, so you should also listen to the sections on the other three signs, so which is all the fire, um, um, the Aries, Cancer, um, and Libra and Capricorn. Okay, so these four signs, you should watch these sections. So Aries sign, number one is Aries, and let's see, let me annotate. Okay, so what's happening is Mercury is the third ruler and the sixth ruler. Okay, and it's sitting in your ninth house. So there's a connection between the third ruler and the sixth ruler sitting in the ninth house. Okay, so that means, and these are the things that we mentioned, we discussed in detail in the intro section. So this is a great time for Aries sign people to do any writing projects that have a higher spiritual purpose, or do some writing with their gurus or with their father. Okay? And especially because it's the third house ruler. Third house is all about communication and marketing. And so sitting in the ninth house of dharma and higher purpose and gurus and father. Okay, so doing any of that stuff, any communication related activities, any writing projects with your gurus or with your father and about some higher spiritual subjects. Okay, so that'll give you success. That'll give you early success. And also, it's the sixth house ruler we're talking about. So, sixth house is about health and about you could offer your six weaknesses. Sixth house is our sixth weakness. So, one of the tips or the remedies or recommendations for Aries people is offer your six weaknesses at the feet of your gurus, and they will cleanse it. Okay, so the theme for Purvashada is cleansing and purification. So the gurus will cleanse your inner weaknesses, the six weaknesses, which are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. you can Google on Shad Ripus, SHAD, Shad Ripus, RIPUS. So those are the 6 weaknesses, and offer them at the feet of your guru or to your father. Acknowledge them in front of your father, and they will help you cleanse or purify those 6 weaknesses. The other thing is writing about health or health routines, or diet or routine. Like sixth house is your routine, the dinacharya. And so writing about that, and which is the Purva Ashadha, or following some strict routine, starting some of those sixth house matters, they will give you early victory. And if you do that with determination, and also you could act as a leader, like coach other people, teach other people, because it's the ninth house of teachers and higher wisdom and gurus. So you can offer some kind of coaching, health coaching, or taking care of sixth house matters or the third house matters. You could do some collaborative projects with your younger siblings. That's third house. And the writing that you do will actually give you courage, because it's the third house ruler we're talking about. So that's the overall picture for Aries sign, Mercury in Purva Ashadha from January 20th to 29th. So as I mentioned, do also listen, if you're Aries sign, do also listen to the sections on Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, because there are some interesting synergies and related things. And so if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I have recently changed the handles to Vedic Astro Amit. That's my new website and new handles. So next we'll talk about Taurus. Second. Okay. So next is Taurus Taurus Rashi, Taurus Lagna, as well as Taurus Rashi. Next is we're talking about the So now we're talking about Taurus sign, Taurus Lagna or Taurus Rashi. So number 2 is Taurus. And so we have Mercury sitting in the 8th house, and Mercury is the ruler of second house and fifth house. So we're talking about the transit of Mercury in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. I highly recommend, please listen to the intro section. Very interesting and important information on Purva Ashadha and Mercury in Purva Ashadha especially. And now we'll talk about the specific things about Taurus Rashi or Taurus Lagna. So for Taurus people, Mercury is the second house ruler and the fifth house ruler, sitting in the 8th house. So 8th house, so this is all about cleansing and purification and change and transformation, because Purvashada is cleansing and purification, and 8th house is change, transformation. So essentially, cleaning up your house, cleaning up your the hidden things at a very deep level, cleansing at a very deep level that could lead to change and transformation. That's the big theme for Taurus. This is a period to really, really go deep and cleanse, all the 5 koshas and chakras and everything at a very deep level. This is a wonderful time to do writing projects that will actually bring you wealth. You'll from other people, that's the 8th house matters. And also this is the second house ruler sitting in the 8th house. So a very big connection between the family wealth and wealth of other people. And also the 5th house is involved. So doing some cleansing rituals with your romantic partner or with your family members, doing some creative projects with your romantic partner or with your family, speaking about all of this, focusing on communication, and writing and doing business and marketing, all of that. And some deep wisdom, talking about it, that sixth house, second house matters, talking about all of these things. And but caution is the tips or the, recommendations are, be careful, do not be impatient in your communication. Do not make hasty decisions. And also, there could be some kind of like ego issues with your romantic partner or with your children or with your family members. That's the second house and the fifth house ruler sitting in the eighth house. Okay. But great for doing some things together with your children in the area of communication, marketing, cleansing, purification, all of that. And you'll get some early indications or early victory of any of these projects that you undertake. One of the key remedies or good uh, mantra for Taurus sign is Krishna, anything to do with Krishna. So Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that's a wonderful mantra for the next 8, 9 days while Mercury is in Purva Ashadha. Now, also that'll be the case, when it moves over to the next nakshatra, but especially Purva Ashadha, it's all about cleansing and purification. And in the eighth house, it's at a very deep level that lead to change and transformation at a very deep level. So, as I mentioned, also listen to the intro section, very important information on Purva Ashadha. And the signs of Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius, those are very connected, actually. There are a lot of similarities and some nuances. So you should listen to these for if you're Taurus sign or Leo sign or Scorpio sign or Aquarius sign, do listen to these other three signs as well. They'll give you some useful information. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit. Next one is Gemini. So for Gemini, as you can see, it's obviously Mercury is a very important planet. Mercury is the Lagna Lord and the fourth house ruler. Okay, so Mercury is everything for Gemini sign. And it's sitting in the seventh house. So we're talking about Mercury's transit in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra from January 20th to January 29th, next 7, 8 days. And so we talked about the Purva Ashadha Nakshatra in detail in the intro section. So please listen to the intro section, and also the signs, the dual signs of Gemini and Virgo and Sagittarius and Pisces, they have similarities and connections with each other. So if you're one of these signs, I highly recommend listen to the other three signs. So for Gemini, the connection is between Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, all the dual signs. Okay, so as we talked about Purva Ashadha in the intro section, it's all about cleansing, purification, writing, communication, and all of that. So Lagna Lord and the fourth Lord sitting in the seventh house. Uh, Great time to do some kind of retreats with their partner. Okay, because Purva Ashadha is all about purification, cleansing, and seventh house is your partner relationship thing. So you could do some retreats, and that all, or like some kind of panchakarma, that's like cleansing from within at a very deep level. That's a wonderful remedy uh, recommendation. And then do some writing projects with your partner. Okay, so jointly, maybe you can publish a book, or also with your mother, actually, because it's the fourth house ruler sitting in the seventh house. So do some writing projects or articles or some things connected with writing. Do that with your partner or with your mother. Okay. And then networking and communication, all of that is the theme for Mercury in Purva Ashadha. So talk, 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 talk with your spouse, with your relation. That's and you'll get early victories in any of these things we're talking about. You could do work on some artistic projects, or home renovation and things like that, or cleaning up things at your residence. That's the fourth house ruler sitting in the seventh house. So that's the recommendations and tips for Mercury in Purva Ashadha for the sign of Gemini. As I mentioned, do listen to the intro section. And also Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, they are connected. So listen to the other signs as well. Okay. So next is, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's the new handle now is Vedic Astro Amit. And that's the channel for for YouTube, for Facebook, for Instagram, for TikTok. Okay. Next one. For Cancer sign, Mercury is sitting in the 6th house, and Mercury is the ruler of the 12th house and the 3rd house. Okay, so that's the full picture. So we're talking about Mercury's transit in the sign in the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha from January 20th through January 29th. What's happening is, do listen to the intro section, very important information on the energy of Purva Ashadha Nakshatra and some details on Mercury in Purva Ashadha at a generic level, applicable to all the signs, but now we'll add to that. So don't miss the intro section. And as I mentioned earlier in the Aries section also, so the Aries sign, the Cancer sign, the Libra sign, and the Capricorn sign, all the movable signs. So these are have connections. They are related with each other. So listen to these other 3 sections if you are Cancer, Aries, Libra, or Capricorn sign. So the 3rd house ruler and the 12th house ruler sitting in the 6th house. Write about health. Any kind of writing, journals, or tidbits, or tips for health or your daily routine. And also how to overcome your 6 weaknesses. Okay, so writing about that, or just doing a lot of purification and cleansing routines. That's excellent time for that for the next 7-8 days while Mercury is in Purva Ashadha. And you could do that with your siblings, some kind of cleansing routine with your siblings, or you could also actually go on a foreign trip or something very distant place, and you can do some retreats or cleansing rituals or some modalities. Could be like panchakarma or things like that. So the 3rd house ruler sitting in the 6th house also connect with your siblings. Okay, you can do things connected with your health together with your younger siblings. 3rd house lord in the 6th house, that's actually close to Mars. Okay, so it's going to give you courage to fight with the enemies and the 6 inner enemies. It's a good time to cleanse and forgive and move on and eradicate any of the 6 weaknesses that human beings have. That's Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mat, Matsar. Great time to go on a retreat. That's the 12th house ruler sitting in the 6th house, especially a retreat that focuses on your health. That's the 6th house, Mercury sitting in the 6th house. Okay, even in a foreign country. And donations and any kind of donation to priests or temples or in a foreign country, or health related charities and donations, that will be very, very powerful during this transit. So the caution is, don't make or do anything very hastily. I mean, be very patient. Don't show impatience when it comes to your health routine, when it comes to your courage, your siblings, or dealing with the foreigners or going on a foreign trip. So all of that, those themes, make sure you think through the things first before you jump and take action. So that's the impact of Mercury in Purva Ashadha on Cancer rising and Cancer Rashi. As I mentioned, do listen to the intro section and also the other 3 movable signs, which is Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. You'll gain some more insights. Okay. Next one is Leo Lagna of the Leo Lagna or Leo Rashi. The rising sign is Leo, or your moon is in Leo. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Mercury is sitting in your 5th house. You see here Mercury in Purva Ashadha in your 5th house, and Mercury is the ruler of the 11th house and the 2nd house. So we're talking about Mercury, transit of Mercury in Purva Ashadha from January 20th to January 29th. Do listen to the intro section because we discussed the Purva Ashadha nakshatra in detail, and also the meaning of Mercury in Purva Ashadha to some extent. We talked about that in the general section, the intro section. Do listen to that. Now, especially for Leo rising or Leo Rashi, Moon becomes your 2nd ruler and the 11th. The Mercury becomes your 2nd house ruler and the 11th house ruler. So that actually makes Mercury a very important planet for money. Okay, it's the second house is family wealth, 11th house your gains from your profession, financial gains, right? So Mercury for Leo people in general, always Mercury is the planet for money. And so when that's happening, and it in transit, it's sitting in your fifth house. Okay, so this means you may bring in money with the help of your family or your friends through the social media, things like that, or through speaking engagements. Second house is speech, and also doing some cleansing and purification routines with your partner, romantic partner, or with your children. Purging and cleansing and purification, all of that is the theme. And you may also be doing some creative projects, especially around writing, but in general, any kind of creative projects. That's the fifth house. And it's the second house ruler and the 11th house ruler. And giving birth to some things. And any projects, any activities you do, you'll get some early victories. Anything to do with communication. Mercury is communication. And communication about cleansing or purification or any kind of artistic projects, that will be very, very successful. I mean, you'll gain wealth also. That's the second house ruler and the 11th house ruler, and it'll be very rewarding for you. So that's the impact of Mercury's transit in the sign in Nakshatra Purva Ashadha for the sign of Leo. That's Leo rising and Leo Rashi. Do listen to the intro section, and also the signs of Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius, the fixed signs. These four signs are very much connected when it comes to Mercury's transit in Purva Ashadha. So do listen to the other sections, other three signs, so for Leo sign, do listen to the Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius signs as well. You'll get some additional insights. Okay. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. The new handles are Vedic Astro Amit. Next one is Virgo. So we're talking about the transit of Mercury in the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha from January 20th through January 29th. The sign of Virgo, and please listen to the intro section. All the important information about Purva Ashadha and Mercury in Purva Ashadha is in the intro section. We've talked about this transit in detail. So now, specifically for Virgo sign, let's see what the picture is. So for Virgo, Mercury is sitting in the fourth house, if you see the chart. And then Mercury is the ruler of the 10th house and the ruler of your Lagna. Okay, so, and also keep one thing in mind, the signs of Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius and Pisces, they are connected when it comes to Mercury's transit in Purva Ashadha. So listen to the other three signs as well. That they'll give you some additional insights. Now, so in this case, for Virgo sign, we have the 10th house ruler and the Lagna Lord sitting in your fourth house. Okay. This is a good time to do some cleansing activities internally. May not be externally, but cleansing, any kind of purging or cleansing or purification that will give you inner happiness. That's the fourth house. So Mercury is sitting in the fourth house of inner happiness. And Purva Ashadha is all about cleansing and purification. So you could do sort of like at-home retreats, or things for self-development. It's the Lagna Lord we're talking about, sitting in the fourth house. And more communication with your mother. I mean, if you haven't had a good communication with your mother, this is a good time to improve the relationship with your mother. Do some writing projects, sitting at home, like blogging and things like that. And focus on communication, and especially at work, because it's the 10th Lord sitting in the fourth house. So great time to write articles or newsletters or things like that at your work, for your profession, for your business. And all of that will give you early victories. And it's also important to notice that there may be some kind of impatience when it comes to your place of residence or your mother, or your inner happiness. So you may end up taking action without thinking. Be cautious, be careful about that. Okay. And the fourth house is connected with mother, right? It's the natural zodiac is the sign of Cancer and connected with mother. So any kind of like Shakti mantras for the mother divine will be a good remedy, good, excellent recommendation for the sign of Virgo. So that's the overall picture for the sign of Virgo, the transit of Mercury in the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and also listen to the intro section. That's very important. So next, we'll talk about the sign of Libra, Libra Rashi as well as Libra Lagna, whether your rising sign is Libra or your moon is in Libra, this applies to you. So we're talking about Mercury's transit through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. Okay, and that's going to be from January 20th through January 29th. So let's see what's happening. So Mercury is your 12th house ruler and your 9th house ruler, and it's sitting in the 3rd house. Okay, so do listen to the intro section. Very important and useful information about Mercury in Purva Ashadha in general. A lot of information about Purva Ashadha. And also the signs of Aries and Cancer and Libra and Capricorn. The movable signs are have a lot of connection, a lot of similarities. So if you're Libra sign, for example, do listen to the other three signs, which is the sections on Aries and Cancer and Capricorn. So what's happening is for Libra sign, number 7 sign, Mercury is the ruler of the 9th house and the 12th house, sitting in the 3rd house. So excellent time to do some cleansing and purification when it comes to your, um, dealing with your siblings. Okay, so if you've had some issues with your younger siblings, especially, this is the time to set things right, do some purging, cleansing, and purification. 3rd house is all about communication. So, and Mercury is the planet of communication, and Purva Ashadha is the nakshatra for writing. So this is a really powerful time, the next 7-8 days, for you to do any kind of writing projects and any kind of communication, marketing, and reaching out to people, business deals. Okay, so all of that. Uh, I think that's the biggest thing for sign of Libra, because Mercury is also your 9th house ruler sitting in the 3rd house. And 9th house is the blessings of the gurus, and 9th house is the punyasthan, the bhagyasthan. So you'll get your luck will shine upon you. Anything you do during this 9 days, because Purva Ashadha gives you early victory. Okay, so communication related activities, cleansing and purification, and writing, especially writing, and any artistic projects as well. Purva Ashadha is ruled by Venus, so there any kind of music and arts and dance and all of that, any creative projects, all of that will give you early victory. Now, 3rd house also represents our courage, so but you may act, prematurely, like there may be tendency of like impatience, because Purva Ashadha gives you that kind of energy. It's a very ugra nakshatra. It's a movable chara nakshatra. So be careful not to act very quickly when it comes to communication or dealing with your siblings or dealing with foreigners or dealing with your father or with your gurus, because there may be some kind of impatience, and also there could be some energy or some kind of stubbornness when it comes to your communication or dealing with siblings or with your father and guru. So these two things, very cautious when it comes to 3rd house matters or 9th house and 12th house matters. But overall, a really good time to focus on communication, and also take help from any foreigners. Go on a foreign trip and help from your gurus or your father or your sangha. They'll help you. So this is the time to maybe write about higher wisdom, write about change, write about other planes of existence, write about retreats and things like that, or do some communication, do some business related activities with respect to the 12th house and the 9th house and the 3rd house matters. So that's the overall picture for Libra in for Libra, the sign of Libra, for Mercury in the nakshatra Purva Ashadha. Do listen to the intro section. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So the next one is the sign of Scorpio. Please listen to the intro section. That's very important. We've talked about the impact of Mercury in Purva Ashadha in general. So now we'll talk about the sign of Scorpio. And as you can see, for the sign of Scorpio, Mercury is sitting in the second house, and Mercury is the 11th house ruler and the 8th house ruler. So a lot of change and transformation and purification and cleansing, all of that is the theme, especially when it comes to your family, extended family. That's the second house. So Mercury is there for the next 7-8 days for you to do a lot of purging and cleansing and purification when it comes to your family or family wealth or your speech or your diet, the food that you eat. Okay, so maybe some people might do fasting during these days. So that's one big recommendation or tip is fasting. Any kind of communication projects, writing especially, but second house is speech. So any form of communication, which is Mercury, it'll help you. It'll give you early victories. And it's the 8th house ruler sitting in that second house. So, right, a lot of change, transformation at a very deep level. When we say cleansing and purification, that may actually bring a lot of change and transformation because it's the 8th house ruler sitting in the second house. Okay, and you may actually do some creative projects with your family members or about food. Be creative with your food and diet and your speech, and also um, any writing or any kind of communication you do during these 7-8 days will actually be helpful, will bring financial gains for you as well. And you could do that on social media and networking with a lot of people. That's 11th house. So that's several tips and recommendations for the sign of Scorpio for Mercury's transit through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. Do listen to the intro section, very important. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Next is Sagittarius, the sign of Sagittarius, and we are talking about the Mercury's transit in the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. Please listen to the intro section, very important information on the general impact of Mercury in Purva Ashadha. And also, some of the signs have similarities and connections. So if you're, say, Scorpio sign, do listen to the other fixed signs, which is Taurus, and Leo and Aquarius. It'll give you additional insights. And so for Sagittarius, Mercury is the 10th house ruler and the 7th house ruler, and it's sitting in your Lagna. So Mercury is going through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha in your Lagna, and it's the 7th house ruler and the 10th house ruler. So see, the theme for Purva Ashadha is cleansing it. The deity is Apa, which is the water god, the deity for water, and water represents cleansing and purification. So this is about cleansing and purification to discover yourself, your personality. Okay, work on yourself to purge the things that are not needed, and do that cleansing on a personal level. Your own self, discover yourself. You could do some journaling because Purva Ashadha is connected with writing and about self, for yourself, about yourself, not to show to the world, but just like your personal journal. So the next 7-8 days, get in the habit of writing a personal journal. You could actually do that with your partner as well. It's the 7th house ruler sitting in the Lagna. So that means your partner will be giving you attention, or you may need to give attention to your partner and do things together. Maybe some writing projects like a journal together, or do some cleansing activities, some retreats, panchakarma, or like for your physical health, mental health, do cleansing projects together. And you could do some writing and blogging and things like that for your work as well. That's the 10th house ruler sitting in the Lagna. So any form of communication activities or any creative projects, that's Purva Ashadha. Any creative projects, any communication related activities will be very fruitful and beneficial for your career as well. and they'll give you some early victories. So be careful when it comes to yourself making decisions about your partner, about your business, about your work, that you're not too impatient, because Purva Ashadha is a Ugra nakshatra and may give you this tendency to act without thinking. So be patient, and don't be too stubborn, though. Purva Ashadha has this, it's a natural leader, a very determined leader, wants to take action immediately and may not listen to other people. So be careful, especially listen to your partner to avoid any communication issues. So that's the recommendations for Sagittarius, sign of Sagittarius, for the transit of Mercury in the nakshatra Purva Ashadha. Do listen to the other three, the fixed signs, the Taurus, the Leo, and the Aquarius. And very important, listen to the intro section. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, the Vedic Astro Amit. That's the new handle. Next, we have the sign of Capricorn. So we're talking about the transit of Mercury through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha from January 20th to January 29th. Do listen to the intro section where we talked about the overall energy of Mercury in Purva Ashadha. And so let's see here, as you can see, Mercury is transiting through the 12th house for Capricorn. And Mercury is the 9th house ruler and the 6th house ruler. So that's the overall picture. Mercury is the 6th house ruler and the 9th house ruler sitting in the 12th house, transiting through the 12th house in the sign of Sagittarius, and especially the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. So overall, big message or theme for Capricorn, sign of Capricorn, is cleansing at a very deep level, maybe energetic cleansing, energy healing, clairvoyance, access to the other planes of existence. I mean, that's the theme. You have direct access through Purva Ashadha. It will connect you with the ancestors. If you do any kind of healing or ritual, or clairvoyance and things like that, astral travel, yoga nidra. Yoga nidra will be excellent. Writing about 12th house matters, or about health matters, or about gurus and dharma and higher purpose, all of that will be a wonderful activity you can do, and it'll give you some early victories. So writing about these things, communicating about these things, about cleansing, about the 12th house matters, that's the other planes of existence, or for your job, or for higher dharma, for dharmic activities related to your gurus or teachers, and spiritual progress. All of that is indicated. And also a good time to go on a retreat. Could be in a foreign country because it's the 12th house we're talking about, but need not be. It could be retreat where you're just at your home, but you're cleansing and purification in a way, for example, like a silent retreat at your home. But excellent time for actually going on a retreat and doing purging and cleansing, which is like panchakarma. Could be in a foreign country because it's the 12th house we are talking about. So that's the impact of the transit of Mercury through the nakshatra Purva Ashadha for the sign of Capricorn. Do listen to the intro section, very important, and also to the other the other movable signs, which is the Aries and Cancer and Libra, if you're Capricorn sign. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit, if you haven't already. So the next one is Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius. We are talking about the transit of Mercury through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha from January 20th through January 29th. And please listen to the intro section, very important. We have talked about the general impact of Mercury in Purva Ashadha. So now in this section, we'll talk about the sign of Aquarius. And if you're Aquarius sign, Rashi or Lagna, either of those, please also listen to the other three fixed signs, which is the Taurus and Leo and Scorpio. Those three signs, all the fixed signs have some similarities, and you'll get some additional insights. And so here, as you can see, Mercury is for Aquarius sign, Mercury is the 5th house ruler and the 8th house ruler. and Mercury is sitting in or transiting through your 11th house. So fifth house ruler and the eighth house ruler transiting through your 11th house in Sagittarius through the nakshatra of Purva Ashadha. So first of all, for Aquarius sign, it's time for purging, for cleansing, for purification, or for just getting rid of any unrealistic or any desires that are not serving you. Okay, so get rid of like any big desires and things like that. This is the time to cleanse, to purify, and only have like sattvic or desires that are good for you, that'll serve some higher purpose. Okay, so, and then second is a great time for you to start, say, blogging or doing some kind of communication projects on social media. 11th house is reaching out to the masses. So Aquarius sign will have great success if they start some writing activities, writing projects on social media, reaching out to a lot of people. Not for any like frivolous subjects or like personal matters, but writing and doing things that have a spiritual purpose. It's also the eighth house ruler sitting in the 11th house. So while you do purging and cleansing of your desires, while you do writing and communication on social media, this will lead to a lot of change and transformation. You'll realize that, and in fact, you'll also have financial gains, money from other people. That's the eighth house, and money is 11th house. Okay, so financial gains will be there, and also you can do that with your children or with your romantic partner. And Purva Ashadha, the ruling planet is Venus, which is all about creativity. But also for sign of Aquarius, it's the fifth house ruler. Fifth house is the house of creativity, creative projects, all of that. So that's a very big combination for doing any creative projects, which will bring you financial success early on. And so focus on communication, focus on writing projects or anything related to communication, and reach out to the masses that lead to a lot of change and transformation. And you could do that with your children or with your romantic partners. So that's the energy of Mercury's transit in the nakshatra Purva Ashadha. Please do listen to the intro section. That'll give you a lot of insights, additional insights. And also all the fixed signs, the Taurus, the Leo, the Scorpio, and Aquarius are connected. They'll give you some similarities, some additional points. So listen, if you're one of the fixed sign, listen to the other three fixed signs as well. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit. The next one, Pisces. We are talking about the transit of Mercury in the nakshatra Purva Ashadha from January 20th through January 29th. Do listen to the intro section. That will actually give you the deeper meaning of Purva Ashadha and specifically Mercury in Purva Ashadha. That applies to all the 12 signs, but now we'll add to that. We'll be talking about the sign of Pisces. It could be Pisces rising, which is the Lagna, or Pisces Rashi, which is the moon sign. So the overall picture here, as you can see, Mercury is transiting through your 10th house if you're a Pisces sign. And Mercury is the ruler of your 4th house and your 7th house. So it's all the kendras that are involved here. And so if your Pisces is a dual sign, if you're Pisces sign, do listen to the other three sections on the Gemini and the Virgo and the Sagittarius, because there are some synergies, there are some similarities. So Pisces, the sign of Pisces, which is number 12, there could be like change, transformation, or some kind of cleansing or clarity or purification when it comes to your career or your work or your business. Secondly, this is a excellent time to do some networking, communication, or writing for your job, for your work. And in that process, your mother or your spouse, they will help you. So get help or have a proper communication channel with your mother and with your partner. Could be business partner or personal partner, your spouse or relationship, right? So involve them. And in fact, so this transit will actually clear up any issues with your mother or your partner when it comes to communication. Okay, so direct communication is very important. One caution is be patient. Do not take action in a haste when it comes to your profession, your work, or with your mother, or with respect to your relationship or partner. Also, good time to act as a leader. We're talking about the 10th house. Mercury is sitting in the 10th house, and Purva Ashadha is all about the victory. It's the leadership and the determination. That's Purva Ashadha. So great time to shine at your career, at your work, at your profession. Act as a leader. And Mercury is anyway the planet of communication. So overall, good period for, you can initiate some projects at your work, initiate some communication related projects, writing related, or be creative also. Purva Ashadha is a very creative nakshatra. So that's the overall picture for the sign of Pisces, for Mercury in Purva Ashadha. Do listen to the intro section, very important. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.